Oh, hey everyone! So today's video is going to be about whale gardeners, how whales garden. Yeah, you should be intrigued. Yeah, stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to Permaculture Perspectives. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today is just going to be a short reaction video to another video that I recently watched. A lot of you might have seen this video circulating around Facebook recently, and it's called something like How Whales Change the Climate. Well, first of all, if you haven't seen it, I've linked it below, so you should go check it out. If you're too lazy to do that, I'll just give you a brief rundown of what the video said. Essentially, it was saying that whales eat fish and krill, and some people have made the case for hunting whales in order to increase fish and krill populations, going by the logic that if we kill more whales, there will be more fish and krill because less whales will be eating the fish and krill. But they actually found the complete opposite. The more whales were hunted and the numbers dwindled, the less fish and krill were in the ocean. So they were investigating why, and they found that the natural behavior of whales actually sustains fish and krill populations and increases them, because whales dive down and up and they mix the ocean, which allows more plankton to reach this top layer of the water called the photic zone so it can reproduce. Not only that, they also fertilize the plankton by pooping in the water, and the poop gives food to the plankton. The video narrator uses the word punami, which I think is pretty cool. The whales actually create bigger numbers of plankton through their natural behaviors, and then plankton feeds, so it's the phytoplankton feeds the zooplankton, which are the animal planktons, and that feeds the krill and the fish and the whales. And so what I really liked about that video is that it adopted this very systemic understanding of the role of a whale in the ecosystem, and it juxtaposed it with this very simplistic understanding, this very numbers-based understanding of how whales interact with their ecosystems, and they were completely opposite. So I think it was like a very clear and concise example of how not looking at things in a systemic way, how not looking at natural resources or animals or anything in a perspective of how does this thing interact with its system can actually be really detrimental and just lead to completely wrong conclusions. And the reason why I said that this video is going to be about whale gardeners is because one of the things that Bill Mollison said was everything gardens, except he said it with an Australian accent, obviously. But it's one of those phrases that has kind of stuck in my head over time as I've studied permaculture. And I think that this video is a prime example of how everything gardens. It shows how, if you think about what gardening is, it's the activity of growing your own food, growing something to sustain you. That's exactly what whales are doing. Whales are gardening their own food source. Except in the case of whales, they're just doing it by behaving completely naturally. So gardening is almost like an inherent activity for them that they don't really have to think about, whereas human beings do at this point anyway. But I just thought it was such a nice picture, like whales as gardeners, whales as being able to create and sustain a food supply. The other part of the video, which is even more mind-blowing, is that the increase of plankton in the photic zone of the ocean also causes CO2 to be pulled out of the atmosphere, because that's something that plankton does. So if there are more whales and then there's more plankton, more CO2 will be pulled out of the atmosphere, so whales can actually help counteract the effects of global warming, which is pretty crazy. And so, again, just a really cool systemic perspective and a really cool connection, I think, to permaculture and to the phrase everything gardens. I wonder if you guys can think of any other examples of how real life events can be linked to that phrase, everything gardens. So thank you for watching this short video. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you guys liked it, give it a like, pop a comment below, or subscribe to my channel so you can be notified of future videos coming out. If you would like to collaborate or have anything to say, let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time on Permaculture Perspectives. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.